In this video here, we are going to be going over fractions, a lot of different types of fraction problems that you might see on the ASVAB. And to assist us with that, we are going to be using my website called mathmaven.co, and a link to this will be in the description below. So to start, we're just going to go to practice, and then I'm going to click on settings right away. I'm going to drop the questions down to, how about 12? We'll do 12 questions in this video here. And I'll deselect everything except for fractions, and we will start. Alright, so before we even begin, it is just really important that you remember you're only going to get better by actually practicing these on your own. So please, right now, go get a pen and paper or a pencil or any other sort of writing utensil, and when you read the question, pause this video and actually try it on your own. Try and work out the solution on your own, and then press play, see if you get the same answer as I do, and then see my explanation, and we'll move on to the next one. Because again, I can't stress this enough, the only way you get better is by actually practicing it. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Question 1 here is a multiplication problem. Alright, what is 5/7 times 11/9? Alright, so press pause and try this one out on your own. Alright, so hopefully you press pause, or hopefully, yeah, you press pause and try that out on your own. And let's work through it now. Alright, so this one is saying we have 5/7 times 11/9. Alright, and then anytime I see any sort of multiplication or really any type of fraction problem, the first thing I want to do is see if I can simplify anywhere. Alright, so look at this first fraction, 5/7. I can't simplify that anymore. Both 5 and 7 are prime, so that fraction cannot be simplified anymore. And then I look at the next one, 11/9. Well, the numerator 11 is a prime number, so that can't be simplified. And then I look at the cross fractions as well. The denominator of one compared to the numerator of the other. In this case, nope, I can't simplify anything there. And I also can't simplify anything there. So these fractions here are as simplified as they can be, and multiplying these specific fractions, I can't factor anything out from either the numerator or denominator of one or the other. So this is just what the problem is. And now it comes to, well, just a simple multiplication of fraction problems. All we need to do is multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and we go straight across with that. So 5 times 11 is going to give us 55 up on top. 7 times 9, that is going to give us 63 on bottom. And then looking at those, it doesn't look like either of those, doesn't look like that fraction can be simplified at all. So our final answer should be 55/63, which that appears to be option A over here. So we'll select that, check the answer, and it seems like we got it right. So you can read the explanation there if you want. It seems to be pretty similar to what we got here, and we will move on. Alright, next question here, another multiplication one. What is 7/4 times 3/3? So press pause and try and solve this one on your own. Alright, hopefully you tried that one out on your own real quick. So we have 7/4 times 3/3. And again, first thing we should be doing is try to simplify anything. Well, 7/4, 7 is a prime number, so this fraction cannot be simplified anymore. 3/3, well, that's actually, we could factor out a 3 out of both the numerator and the denominator. So really our new problem would just become 7/4 times, well, 1/1, or just 1. And we should know that any number times itself is really just that number, so our final answer is just 7/4. And if we check in our answer list here, yep, option C is 7/4, so we will check that, and that appears to be the right answer there. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Alright. Let's see, question 3. Convert 31/3 into a mixed number. Alright, so press pause and try this one out on your own. Alright, let's try and go through this one together now. Converting an improper fraction into a mixed number, really all you need to do is ask yourself, how many times can that denominator go into the numerator? In this case, we know that 3 should be able to go into 31 at least 10 times. Why? Because 10 times 3 equals 30. So we know we could get 10 whole things out of this fraction here. And then, well, what is going to be left over? Well, we already said 10 times 3 equals 30. And then there's 31 up on top total, so that's going to be 31 minus that 30. That's going to leave us with the remainder of 1. And then we just put that back over the same denominator. So 31 over 3 is the same as 10 and 1/3. And if we check our answer list, option D appears to be the right answer. We will select that and see the explanation there accordingly. Let's move on to the next one here. Subtraction problem. What is 6 over 8 minus 4 over 9? All right, so press pause and see if you can get this one on your own. All right, hopefully you tried that one here. So let's see, what are we given here? We are given 6 over 8 minus 4 over 9. And again, remember, first step I always like to do is see if I can simplify anything. In this case, this 6 over 8 can be simplified a little bit. We could rewrite it as 3 over 4. And now our new problem is 3 over 4 minus 4 over 9. All right, now it is just a simple subtraction problem. And subtracting fractions, we can't subtract these unless we have the denominators as the same. So our first step is to get the same denominators. In this case, we need to find the least common denominator, which between a 4 and a 9, it's probably just going to be a 36. So we will say we have something over 36 minus something else, which is also going to be over 36. Well, in order to get this 4 to be 36, we had to multiply it by 9. So in order to get this 3 to be something over 36, we need to multiply that by 9. So 3 times 9 equals 27. And then same thing. We had to multiply this 9 by 4 to get 36, so we will multiply this 4 by 4 to get 16. All right, and now it's just 27 over 36 minus 16 over 36. And because our denominators are the same, all we need to do now is just subtract the numerators. So we will say 27 minus 16, that is going to be 11 over 36. 36, there we go. And it does not appear that we can simplify that anymore, so that should be our final answer, which we have B over here as 11 over 36. So we will select that, check our answer, and see that it is right, and there's the explanation there. And we will move on. All right, next one here is to simplify. Simplify 236 over 332. All right, press pause and see if you can simplify this fraction here on your own. All right, so let's try and go through this one together now. Anytime I see a large simplify fraction problem, I obviously can't do that in my head. So first thing I'm going to do is just really just start from the bottom. Well, are both the numerator and the denominator divisible by 2? In this case, they are both even, so yes, they are going to be divisible by 2. So I'm just going to try and do that first. All right, so I can't really do those in my head that easily, so I'm going to do a little bit of long division here. So I'm going to say 236 over 2. Oh, that'll be a 1 there. Drop it down. That'll be a 1 again. Subtract. Drop the 6 down. And 8. So we will have a 118 on top. And now we need to do 332. 332 divided by 2. Same thing. That'll be a 1. And then a 3. Drop down a 3. That'll be a 6 up there. That's a 12. Subtract and we get 1, drop down that 2, and that'll be a 6. Right? Yeah, okay. So 166 on bottom. 166 on bottom. We can divide again. Now we have 118 over 166. I think 4 could actually go into both of these pretty evenly. So we'll say 118. Divide that by 4. 4 can go into 11 2 times. That'll be 8. And then we subtract. That's going to be 3. And then bring down that 38. No, I guess 4 cannot go in there. Let's just try it with 2 again, actually. All right, let's try 2. So 2 can go to 11 5 times, and that'll be 10. We'll have 1 left over, drop down that 8, and that'll be a 9. So we will have 59 up on top here. All right, and then on bottom, we need to do 166 over 2. That's just going to be 83. I can do that one actually in my head there. 83. So now 59 over 83. That looks like it's probably going to be the final answer there. And that happens to be option A. So we will check that one, and it is the correct answer there. So that's how we would solve that one. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Converting an improper fraction into a mixed number again. Convert 7/5 into a mixed number. Alright, so press pause and try this one out on your own. Alright, so hopefully you tried that one there. Again, converting improper fraction into a mixed number. How many times can the denominator go into the numerator, figure out what's left over, and let's put that back over the original denominator. So what do I mean here? We ask ourselves, how many times can 5 go into 7? Well, it can go in 1 time, and that would be a total of 5. We had 7 to start off with, so 7 minus 5, that's going to equal a remainder of 2. So we will have 2 left over, put that back over the original 5, and our total answer is 1 2/5. All right, 1 2/5, and that happens to be option D there, so we will check that, and it turns out to be the right answer. So we will move on. All right, next problem here. Some division, some dividing fractions, all right? What is 15 over 12 divided by 20 over 18? All right, so press pause and try this one out on your own. All right, so hopefully you tried that one out on your own here. There's actually a couple different ways we can go about doing this. One here. This one should be kind of fun because, like I said, there's going to be multiple ways that we can go about solving this one here. So first thing, I'm just going to write it out here. We got 15 over 12 divided by 20 over 18. And whenever I see a dividing fractions problem, I immediately just think, well, dividing fractions is the exact same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So what that means is we are going to take this fraction and just flip it upside down. So I'm going to rewrite this equation here as 15 over 12 times 18 over 20. All right, times 18 over 20. Now that, first of all, now this problem looks a lot easier, but we can take it a step further. We can simplify both of these fractions here. So 15 over 12, we could take a 3 out of both of those, and that would be 5 over 4. And then 18 over 20, we could take a 2 out of both of these, and that would be 9 over 10. And now we could take it a step further even, because now we should see that this cross section here, we could simplify that even. So we could take a 5 out of both of those, and now that would be 1 over 4 times 9 over 2. And there, now we have a very simple multiplication problem where we just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. 1 times 9 equals 9. 4 times 2 equals 8. And our final answer should be 9/8, which happens to be answer A over here. So we will select that, check our answer, and it appears to be right. And there's the explanation there. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Another multiplication problem. All right, what is 16 over 11 times 4 over 8? So press pause and see if you can get this one on your own here. All right, well, hopefully you attempted that one here, and let's go through it together. All right, we have 16 over 11 times 4 over 8. Again, first thing I'm going to do here is try and simplify. 16 over 11 appears to be in its simplified state already, but 4 over 8, really that's just 1/2. All right, that is just going to be 1/2. And now let's see if we can use our cross-section simplifying, which we can see we can take out a 2 out of both of those here. So we can rewrite this as 8 over 11 times 1 over 1, or just 1. So our final answer is really just going to be 8 over 11 here. Pretty simple. And we have option A there, and we will select it, and that turns out to be the correct answer there. All right. So let's move on to the next one here. All right, what is 12 over 20 divided by 15 over 4? All right, press pause and try this one out on your own. All right, let's go through this one together. Again, it's a division problem, and we got to remember that dividing fractions is the exact same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to rewrite this question here as 12 over 20 times 4 over 15. All right, now I'm going to try and simplify if I can. First thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to simplify these ones here. So I'm going to take out a 3 out of both of those. I'm going to rewrite this as 4 over 20 times 4 over 5. All right, and now I can simplify these here. All right, and I'm going to take out a 4 out of both of those, and I will say 4 over 5 times 1 over 5. All right, and now it's just multiplying straight across here. 4 times 1 equals 4. 5 times 5 equals, 5 times 5 equals 25. And that should be our final answer, 4/25. We can see that is option A here, so we will check that answer. It is correct. See that explanation, and we can move on here. All right. Next one, convert 73 halves into a mixed number. All right, so press pause and try this one out on your own. All right, so hopefully you tried that one out on your own here. And let's see, how many times can 2 go into 73? That should be 36, right? Because 36 times 2, that's going to be 12. That's going to be 72 there. So, yep, that'll be 36. And then what's left over? Well, we had 72 there, and we started with 73. So 73 minus 72, that's going to give us 1 left over. Put that back over our original denominator, and that will be 36 1/2. Which appears to be this answer here, 36 1/2. There we go. Moving on to the next one, another multiplication problem here. All right, what is 13 over 10 times 18 over 20? All right, so press pause and try this one out on your own. All right, so let's try and go through this one together now. Again, multiplying fractions, first thing I want to do is try to simplify anywhere I can. 13 over 10 seems to be simplified enough as it is, but that 18 over 20, we can take out a 2. We can factor out 2 out of both of these, so divide the whole thing by 2, we will get 9 up on top and 10 down on bottom. All right, now we're just going to multiply straight across here. 13 times 9, 10 times 10. Well, 10 times 10 is easier, so I'll just write that one right away. And now 13 times 9, I cannot do off the top of my head, so I'll have to draw that out quick. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 1 is 9, plus the 2 is, no, not 13, that is 11. All right, so that is 117 over 100. And that appears to be the final state there, because answer A appears to be 117 over 100. We'll check that answer, and it appears to be correct. And here we go. Last one here. Question 12 out of 12. What is 11/12 minus 7/20? All right, so press pause and try this one out on your own. All right, let's try and go through this one together here. So I'm going to rewrite it here. 11 over 12 minus 7 over 20. Again, what are we going to do first? See if we can simplify anywhere. And in this case, neither of these can be simplified. So next thing we need to do now is see if we have a least common denominator. What is going to be the least common denominator between 12 and 20? We could go with 120. We could actually go with 60. 60 could be, both of these numbers could go into 60 evenly. So I'm going to have something over 60 minus something else over 60. Now, in order to get from 12 to 60, we had to multiply by 5. So for 11, we'll have to multiply that by 5, and we will get 55. And then same thing for the 20 to get to 60, we had to multiply that by 3, so we'll multiply the 7 by 3, and we will get 21. All right, now it's just a simple subtraction problem. Because our denominators are the same, we can just simply subtract the numerators, and that's going to be 55 minus 21, and what's that going to be? That is going to be 34, right? 34 over 60. All right, so we can simplify this now. What's that going to be? That'll simplify into 17/30ths, I believe. 17/30ths will be the final answer, and that happens to be answer B. So we'll select that, check answer, seems to be correct, so we will go ahead and finish, and there we go. We got 100% on this one. I hope you got 100% as well. If you didn't, comment down below which ones you got wrong. And again, this website that we were using here is called mathmaven.co, and it's still in the early development stages, but it does have some different practice tests here where you can start doing some statistics or multiplication problems with some larger numbers. We also have a test on here. So if you want to take an actual timed test, you could do that as well, where if you would start the test, there would be a little timer so you can sort of quiz yourself and how fast you can go. And then, let me exit the test. We also have this study section here that kind of just goes through a bunch of different categories that will be on your ASVAB, and there are links to all the different videos that I have done so far on these different topics. So go ahead and check all that out. Again, mathmaven.co. Link to that will be in the description below. If you liked this video and you found it very helpful for you, I think it would be very helpful for me if you could press that like button. Please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you all next time.